This meeting is being recorded.
Yes, it is. So what's up? My name is James McCool. This is Jeremy. You're listening to the Tilt Report. This is going to be episode 6. I think it's been over a week since we recorded an episode, so I'm pretty sure we're on 6. If you've been tuning in and listening to us, then thank you for tuning in and listening to us. We missed a week for a myriad of reasons. Most of the reason being that I was on my deathbed last week.
James got sick.
I was so fucking sick, man. I was bedridden, and I get sick like once every 16 months or something. All right. I don't get sick very often, but when I do get sick, it kicks me in the fucking teeth. So I couldn't get out of my bed Thursday. Monday last week was busy for Jeremy. And then Thursday, I was bedridden. I couldn't get out of bed. Saturday, I was still sick. And then Margaret was sick, so I had to take care of her. Sunday was live final for, or Saturday was the NBA.
Saturday was basketball. Yeah. Sunday was hockey.
Yeah. Saturday was basketball. Sunday was hockey. So we couldn't do either one of those days because we were both busy. And then yesterday, we tried to make it work, but then I had conference calls and Jeremy had meetings and we just couldn't make it work. So we're back today, Tuesday edition. But yeah, outside of not being able to record for a week, how's your week last week, man?
It was okay, decently good. At the aforementioned FBWC, I came in 62nd, which is not great, but I think a few things just didn't fall my way. Trey Murphy scored 25 DFS points that day, and then the next day he came out and scored 55 DraftKings points, which was fantastic. Chris Duarte is terrible at basketball, and I should have known that. But honestly, I had a pretty good run. I played Trey Young. He scored 60 points at decently low ownership for the FBWC at like 19%. So no, I mean I'm not bummed about my performance. It was worse than the year before, so I just have to beat it next year. So not a bad week though. I did get smashed in golf classic, which is not great. But I feel like those weeks come around once in a while. I mean that leaderboard was very interesting at the end, but did decently well in round 4 showdown, which I think is probably one of the biggest edges out there, at least in golf for sure. But overall, not a terrible week, but not a great week for me. How about yours, other than being sick?
Yeah, well, I mean, outside of surviving, which is always good. It's great when you survive. Yeah, I mean, I had a couple Paydirt members at each one of the live finals. So we had, obviously you were at the live final for basketball, and did terribly, but that's okay because we had another Paydirt member who took 8th, I think. Jack Migo, he ended up doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Down 50K. So really happy for him. I don't know. I wanted to go to the NBA live final, but then every single year that I'm like, yeah, hopefully I can make it in the live final. And then I don't make it in the live final. And then I see what the fucking slate is for the live final. I'm like, man, thank God I did not make it to this.
This one was very bad. This one was so bad. I mean, the year before, 2 years ago was actually decent, or last year was actually decent. Like there weren't too many injuries and it was pretty chill, but this year was terrible. I mean, Kyrie got ruled out like 20 minutes before lock. And then, yeah, live finals are no late swap. So you make a ton of decisions in probably the last like 30 minutes that, it just like it fucks with you a little bit. And then Ingram got ruled out 10 minutes before lock. And I talked to Mike Gallagher at ETR a lot. He had a lean that Ingram was going to be out, just from some things that he saw. And he's like one of the best in terms of like injury reporting and whatnot. So shout out to him. But, so I felt good about my lean that Ingram was out, and I had Murphy in my lineup, and I actually had McCollum in my lineup as well before that news. And then once that news hit, I was like, damn, my lineup is going to be chalky AF because now everyone's going to play CJ. And so I was like, all right, let me switch off. I switched off a few things. But, to make those decisions in 10 minutes, it's not great. So it was a rough run out for me. I hate Kyrie Irving as a person, so I hate him that he got ruled out prior to lock. But that it's what it is. That's what happens. But yeah, no, I hear you on the live final stuff.
Well, and to be clear, like with your lineup was fine.
Yeah.
You ran like trash with Duarte shooting like 14% from the field, and
Yeah.
Nembhard finding what I basically projected. Most of the industry projected him for like 31 fantasy points. I projected him for like 24.
Yeah,
Because
he's been bad.
yeah, he's been bad, and the efficiency really isn't there. So the way that
Right.
I looked at it, I think that he was probably the best fade that you could have had. I think Duarte over Nembhard was probably like the right choice to make in a small field. Because then like you still that the only thing is like you should have still played CJ McCollum. If you know that you have Duarte, right? It's like 100% contest. You have Duarte who's going to be, I don't know, 12% owned or something. It doesn't matter if you have CJ McCollum at that point. But you're not here for a coaching session. Anyway, fantasy hockey.
To be fair, Duarte was 34% owned. And
who was Duarte?
Duarte. And I got off of him. I got off of CJ because I wanted to play Shea. And I knew I wanted to play Trey Young and Tatum. And then so I ran out of guard spots essentially because I had to play Isaiah Jackson, and then I forgot the other center that I played, but he was decent. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a whirlwind of shit in the last 10 minutes. So it was like not my clearest thinking.
The winner of the basketball championship, Mr. Petty Theft.
Petty Theft.
I asked Jordan. I think he's having his best season that he's ever had. He has been unconscious for NBA this year, and
that's beast.
Yeah, he's so good. And I was talking to Blender about it, and he was like, yeah, well, he has to be because NBA is the only sport. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, you can say that, but I think that there's something to be said about understanding where your strengths really lie and focusing really hard on the thing that you think you have the biggest edge on. And that's why he's a pro. That's why he's a professional, because he understands where his edge is at and he leans into it really hard. And this year he has been able to exploit that edge to an incredible degree. He does play MLB as well. I know that he does as well in baseball, but he doesn't play with as much volume. And I think that he has been probably, if not the best DFS player in the world over the last year, maybe third or fourth best.
He's got to be top 3, I think, for sure.
At worst, third or fourth best, depending on what you think of a couple other like really high volume grinders. So really big congrats to him. Fantasy Hockey World Championship. We had Nerdy Tenor take it down.
Nerdy Tenor, yeah.
Love that. Hutchins is a great guy, and I love his approach to things. Think that he is one of the most interesting DFS pros, because I think that the way that he goes about things is very unique. There are a couple of guys in the industry that do simulation-based stuff, but nobody is really simulating the way that he is simulating, because he goes about it in simulating based on field tendencies rather than based on like trying to project player performance. Like he has his aggregates and he builds his projections and everything like that. He still does that. But what he's simulating is not necessarily just the player performances. He's also simulating how the field will act, and then like rerunning his own models and those tournaments from before so that he can backtest and find inefficiencies. And I think that the way that he does things is just really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly a good player. Maybe one day he'll follow me. He's been in my mentions a couple of times, but haven't gotten the follow yet. But yeah, no, I mean, congrats to both Petty and Nerdy Tenor. I agree with you. I think Petty definitely one of the top players out there for sure. I posted a picture on my Twitter of him lifting the trophy. So if you want proof that Petty Theft is not a robot, just go there.
Yep. Absolutely. So those are the things that happened over the weekend. Now we are full steam ahead into baseball.
Wait, we gotta talk about.
No. I know we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay.
We'll get tout talk here in a second. We got to talk through stuff that we got going on today and what we got moving forward for DFS. So today, let's see. NBA, we got an 8-gamer at 6. That looks pretty nice. There's 555 with 50K.
Yeah.
There's also an 8.
Pistons are on the slate though.
There's some pretty good contests at the very least.
No, I mean it should be a good one. I mean, even yesterday, even though it was like a bullshit Pacers Pistons slate, it was still not bad. Like, you just those are gonna happen. So you just play it. 7 game slate yesterday, 8 game slate today. Should be a good NBA one, I think. For sure. So get out there if you're looking to get in the NBA streets. I know you don't play much post All-Star break NBA, but I think today's a good one.
Yeah, I might play today. The only game that there's 2 games that look pretty suspect. This Cavaliers, Hornets, and Magic Spurs.
Yeah.
I guess you could also say Pistons, Wizards, but I think that the Pistons are priced up enough at this point that they don't really break the slate because they've had everybody ruled out for multiple days straight. So the only games
unless
like they have some real fuckery are that Magic Spurs and Cavs Hornets game.
Yeah, the Spurs one is going to be the tough one because Keldon is questionable. Trey Jones is out with an illness, so it might get a little bit funky there. But I mean, the Spurs are so fucking bad that sometimes you don't really even need to lock one of them in or anything like that. So it should be okay.
No, yeah, and we have a lot of games that look really good. I mean, we have Lakers Pelicans, which has playoff implications. We have Knicks Blazers. Both those teams need to win. Nuggets Raptors. Both those teams are going to continue to push pretty hard and play at a pretty good pace. So
yeah,
that looks like pretty good slate. Hockey is 12 games. Yeah, that's massive, and the contests mostly suck. There is a 121 that has 2K to first. That sucks.
That's it.
The hockey pools are so bad, dude.
That sucks, man.
Nothing over 100,000 in total prizes. The biggest one is the 333, which is 20K to first and 72,000 in total prizes. So really, really bad. I wish that they would give more love to NHL because I would play it over basketball in a fucking instant.
I mean, I feel like I always see tweets about NHL contests filling at like 3 p.m. or something. Yeah. I have no idea why. It's free money for them. I don't understand why they don't do it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. So those are things we got going on, and then obviously Thursday we'll record again, but we have Valspar for PGA. As usual, make sure you get in PGA contests like tomorrow morning. That shit will lock like 18 hours ahead of time because they never make the contest big enough for PGA either.
Especially now that NFL is done.
That they already have a second 200 open for 20K for like why do they do this? Like why not just make the 200 a 250,000 total prize pool instead of making a 200,000 one and a 75,000 one? Like why not just make one that has 100K to first and like is a more steep pay? I hate them. I hate them so much, Jeremy. They don't know how to fucking size these contests.
I don't know, man. They need some analysts to analyze the the profitability of each and fillability. Yes, I don't know. They just don't do the right shit over there.
It's so goddamn tilting. So those are those contests we got going on, and baseball coming up here pretty soon. Trying to build models for that. I have to build the optimizer soon, and
When's MLB start?
Baseball starts on the 30th. 16 days.
Woo.
Yep, coming up fast. So I got to get everything set up over at Paydirt for that. But Jeremy, why don't you lead us into the tout news here, into the industry news, because you got some good rumors here.
Yeah. No beefs this week that at least I heard of. I mean, there's probably always beefs out there, but so I ended up not going to the FBWC, but I did send my brother, who obviously he doesn't play. He doesn't play DFS. He watches a lot of sports, but he doesn't play DFS. So he was just going to just have a good time. Hope I win. Maybe send him up there, lift the trophy for a little bit if I won. Just some rando. But he was there, and he messaged me at about, I would say like 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and was like, some dude is, took advantage of the open bar and is getting wheeled out by the EMTs. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, aren't we adults? But apparently this news got around, and the rumor is that it was draft cheat, that enjoyed the open bar a little bit too much and had to get wheeled out. I think the waitresses or waiters or the staff was pretty pissed because they did not expect someone to be wheeled out like it's college days. But yeah, that is the rumor out there. What are your thoughts on that, James?
I think it sounds like a draft cheat thing to do. Again, this is a rumor. We don't know if it was draft cheat that ended up doing this, but it does sound like a draft cheat thing to do. It's hilarious. I don't know. I'm not a big drinker anymore. All right. I was in college. I can handle my alcohol if I have like 3 weeks to prepare or whatever. But like one glass of wine gets me, tipsy at this point. So that's
Yeah.
just what I imbibe in. I do not understand how people can just like go into a public setting and just get so fucking sloshed that they can't be a human anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand how it works. I used to
Yeah.
it's like fucking 19, but I just cannot imagine as a 30-year-old man doing that.
Yeah, like I can get sloshed with the best of them, but I'm never getting wheeled out of anywhere, and I'm not going to the hospital anywhere. Like that's not what I want to be doing. It feels like shit after. I think the best part about it is that if it was DC, he wasn't even in the tournament, so um, I. I guess he made his way over there somehow and decided to go ham on the bar. So, if it is him, I guess if someone could confirm that would be amazing. My brother obviously couldn't confirm because he was like, some dude is wasted and got wheeled out, but he had no idea who it was.
So fucking funny. I don't think that we have that much other industry news. The only other thing is I now have a $500 bet that the Celtics won't make it out of the second round with shit my money over at Stochastic.
Oh.
What do you think about the Celtics? How do you feel about the Celtics?
Out of the second round, that's a tough one. I mean, I think that they are obviously a good team. Their defense is in shambles right now, is what I'll say. So I can definitely see them getting bounced because their offense is so heavily concentrated on Tatum ISOs and Jaylen Brown ISOs that it could go wrong for 4 games. The only thing that I would worry about would be the East kind of sucks. I mean, they're not going to get the Bucks in the second round. Who will they probably get? They'll get like the Knicks or the Nets or something like that. So, when I think about those teams, I guess you probably want them to play the Knicks, which is
kind of what I think.
Which is crazy to say.
So, let's be clear. This is a vibes-based take. All right, this is just me. Like every single time that I look at the Celtics, they're losing to the fucking Thunder by 40. Right? Like I just think that they're just a team filled with beta twos. There's not a single alpha on that team.
Wow.
Look, man, like Tatum he doesn't have it. Like he just does. Like Tatum can get shown up by Derek White on any given night. Like it's just not something.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are a team that is really built to win championships. I think they're a team that's built to win the regular season. And if God forbid they face the Heat and Jimmy Butler gets to fucking go in on them, like Jimmy Butler's an alpha. I think the Heat
that he is.
And the Knicks, like I think the Knicks are built well, and so long as Tibbs doesn't run them completely into the ground before the playoffs, I think that would be a good matchup too. I was looking at the Eastern standings before I made that bet. Actually, just like while I was talking shit to Adam, but like looking at it, they're not going to face the Bucks by round 2, obviously.
Right.
They might face the Cavs. I think the Cavs would be a really, really hard matchup for them.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
They might face the Nets. I think they would kick the shit out of the Nets.
I think so too. Yeah, they would kick the shit out of the Nets.
The Knicks, I think, would be a pretty good matchup. I think the Knicks and the Celtics are. I think the Celtics are a better team than the Knicks, but I do think that the Knicks have some things that the Celtics don't do very well. I honestly think the hardest matchup for them would be either the Heat or the Cavs in round 2, just because.
Probably.
the way that the Cavs play, like being really big and having really good lockdown defense. And I think that Donovan Mitchell is more of an alpha than either one of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown.
I think the
So
Cavs would be your best bet
I
for
think so
sure.
too. I think so too.
Like the Cavs would just, I mean, they would go Garland, Allen pick and rolls all day and crush that defense. I mean, it also depends if Time Lord comes back because he's so key to their defense.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
If he comes back, then it's a much tougher bet. But if he doesn't, I think that's a pretty good one. Especially, yeah, I mean, if they play the Cavs, Boston's guard defense is terrible. Even though they have pretty good on-ball defenders, like they have Smart, Brogdon, White, all pretty good on-ball defenders. But I feel like their motion and they just can't handle alpha guards.
Dude, they're not a well put together team.
Right.
They're
It's
not.
a
They're not a
little
well
weird.
coached team. And like coaching differences matter so much in the playoffs. And like we're going way over on this just because like I'm trying to justify this fucking bet that I made that I shouldn't have made.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I think the Celtics are not a very well coached team. I think that I'm dead serious. I think the funniest thing that could happen here is the Heat beating them in round one. I think that would be the funniest shit that could happen for me in this bet, just because I said that the Heat would give them fits, and I had like 5 people respond to it and be like, the Heat suck. I'm like, yeah, but Jimmy Butler's a fucking dog, dude, and they're coached well.
They're just gonna grind. You know,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, Spo's a good coach. They got like at least they have a well put together team. Whether they perform or not is, you know, up to them on any given day. But they have a well put together team at least.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for coming back, even though we took a week off because I was dying. Sorry about that. I'm not dying anymore though. So back to regularly scheduled programming. We'll be back Thursday. What do you have for your closing thoughts here, Jeremy?
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
That's all I'll say.
My closing thought is going to be that if you ever are wearing glasses and you break them like I did this morning, super glue is a lifesaver. That's my closing thought. It doesn't mean anything, but like have super glue, man. Super glue is a good thing to have in your home as an adult. Super glue can save you from a lot of things. It can fix a lot of things for you. You should go get some super glue today. Get a good, strong adhesive so that you can hold your life together. That's
super glue is always a lifesaver. Man.
It is. It's important.
Like for anything. I have many different super glues.
So do I. I have one right here. I have one right here on my desk, right? Like in case anything fucking breaks.
Yeah.
All right.
Your wife asks you to fix something, throw some super glue on there, you might be good.
Not hard. Not hard. Easy game. So this has been episode 6 of Tilt Report with James and Jeremy. I am James. He is Jeremy. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not already, go follow us over on Twitter. I'm Paydirt _DFS, and he is Twitter please. I will of course tag both of us when I post it onto Twitter. If you haven't checked out paydirtdfs.com, you should go do that. We have baseball coming up soon. There's gonna be some changes to the pricing structure that I'm gonna announce in the next couple days, so that everybody knows what to expect for baseball season as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys in a couple days.